Hey, good morning everyone. So I wanted to do a bit of a longer video today, just outside here and pre-recorded because I don't really know what I want to talk about, but I have a lot of things on my mind that I kind of just want to talk about fully, and it's a beautiful day and I just didn't want to have to worry about losing my Wi-Fi signal. Because it burns a lot of data, honestly, when you live stream. So I decided I would just pre-film the video and I'd use this also as my podcast for this week. There wasn't a podcast last week. I decided to not upload that latest video. It was just a little bit not kind of where I wanted it to be. So yeah, I'm actually just out looking at the garden because we just planted it yesterday and I wanted to make sure, or I guess see how much of it survived, because sometimes when you transplant things sometimes they don't always survive. So yeah, I have a separate video that'll be just for supporters on locals and then my family and friends on Facebook, so I'm not going to be sharing that. I'll share a more detailed video once we actually get things kind of coming up and all of that, because right now it's sort of boring. So if you want to see that, you can join my locals supporter tribe. So yeah, that being said, today is another beautiful day. May long weekend can actually kind of be a little bit up in the air depending on the weather and all of that. Like, it can be cold at times, and we've actually gotten snow several years. I actually think it was snowing this time last year. The mosquitoes are also really bad, so I'm gonna have to just stay moving, which is really annoying because they came out really quickly this year and some of them are like, I swear, this big. But yeah, so, and I don't really feel like putting on bug spray because I don't intend on being out here a whole long time. But I thought I would just kind of do one of these quick vlogs and talk about some things that are on my mind. This morning I've had a really rough time with emotion. So I have these times where I get huge emotional releases, basically. And it kind of got triggered last weekend by something that happened just in my life. And that's all I'm going to say about it, about what actually happened. But this had been building up for probably a couple of weeks, honestly. And so that's been really tough. And then I'm also dealing with my period, so us women who have to deal with hormonal changes kind of, we deal with that also as well. So it's one of those things that you can kind of be dealing with those types of emotions as well. I honestly believe, though, that it might have felt a bit stronger because of me being with my period, but I don't think so. I think this was an emotional release that's been building for a couple weeks. I kind of talked about how that kind of affects me with my stuff in the past, but I just wanted to bring that up because meditation is not all sunshine, rainbows, peace and bliss. It is not getting away all negative thoughts. It's feeling into what's happening in the moment, and sometimes you're still dealing with emotional ups and downs, and that's a natural thing in life. And it's unfortunate, actually, and this is what I've been digging into a lot lately, actually, is that why do we label some emotions as negative and others as positive? Like, it's because we want to hold on to those positive emotions and then push away what we consider negative emotions when it's all just energy manifesting and all of that. So I find that really fascinating, actually. So, and like I said, these emotions can have an impact on your chronic illness. I find that when I'm more emotional, my pain dial goes up, especially the more negative emotions. Things like, anger, sadness, grief, frustration, all of those kind of things can definitely dial up pain volume. So I find it interesting, actually. This period has been quite painful. And I don't know if I'm noticing it more because of the more presence that I'm feeling. So I'm digging in and feeling in and going, ooh, that's really strong. or if my pain dial is actually turned up because of the emotions. I don't know. I honestly don't care. It's not really something I'm ever going to find the answer to, so I just thought I'd just share that, just sharing that. And I know for me, when I get stressed out, that's when the neck pain comes up. So I've talked about this neck pain having IIH before, and I can actually kind of tell if I'm gonna be maybe dealing with some more head pain because of there's this tension in the back of my neck. I feel it a little bit actually, but it's not bad. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to just mention with that. And so emotions, kind of what I've been feeling into lately, and like this is not all easy all of the time, that's for sure. And I would say it's actually been quite difficult at some points. It's been hard at some times, and it's just really hard to explain. So I'm not really going to get into that very much. But there was a few things I actually was thinking about before I decided to come and film this video, and they're completely just out of consciousness now. So that's the thing, like a lot of times now, if I'm thinking about something, I pretty much have to write it down, or it just goes off into nothingness, like it has arisen from, and I forget about some of the things that I want to talk about, basically. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing okay. I've gotten some wonderful messages over the last little bit about, and I particularly love the people who tell me that a particular thing has struck them and they feel like I give them hope, basically. So I just want to say, when it comes to like with where I am with IIH in particular, that I feel like my journey is particularly unique because my IIH has been in remission now for so long. Like a lot of people, I think, who find my channel are in active symptoms, basically. And so on one hand, I really want to stress that I'm happy that it gives people hope, but please don't expect that to be your final destination. As with everything in life, this is a unique journey, and what your final end might be, and whatever the term final means now, in whatever you think that might be, I don't want to say that it's going to be exactly the same as mine. And I say that with migraines as well. I'm very, very lucky to have found something that helps my particular situation as well as it does. And it's not just the medication I'm on. It is definitely the meditation and the lifestyle factors and everything. And everything is connected. Absolutely everything is connected in this case. It takes everything that I do to be able to do the things that I do. People don't see 90% of what I do. I don't talk about it, I don't share it. It's very, very hard to talk about and share, because if I had a camera on at that point, it wouldn't be the same benefit for me in that moment, although I would love to share it. And particularly the meditation stuff. I can't really share that because it's literally me sitting in my meditation chair, basically. It's sort of a chair. It's back jack that I use with a cushion on top. Me listening to the sound that I listen to, using the Insight timer, and seeing what arises for 40 minutes each morning. And I'm actually getting very, very close to when I started using Insight timer last year. I think I'm almost at my 350 days with a session. And I kind of dug into the timer a little bit, kind of played with it, and was really like, I don't know if this thing is for me. And then I think it was a couple weeks later, and I started to really dive into it. I found the one sound that I really, really liked, and I've stuck with it ever since. And I haven't missed a session in the entire year since I started using it regularly. Because I think there was about 4 days or so where I didn't use the insight timer because I'm just not feeling into this right now. And so I'm getting very, very close to my year anniversary date for using that, whatever that means. And so, yeah, like, it's a major milestone that's coming up with that. And like I said, everything has changed since my meditation retreat. People who probably haven't seen me since, I'm going to be honest with you that if you're watching this, I'm probably not going to be the same as what I was when you see me the last time. I feel like I'm not even the same as what I was a month ago at this point. Like, things are happening, things are changing, and it's wonderful, but it's kind of scary at the same time. It's emotional, and then there's just the part that's beyond words, basically. So that's essentially what I wanted to get into today. And I know not all of you are going to be interested in particularly like my journey with spirituality, but that's what's happening in this moment. And for me, it's very nice, and it's almost like a diary for me to just post these and to express how I'm feeling in the moment. A lot of times when I watch this back, I'm just like, where did that come from? Because it's so strange. And actually, that's like that when I talk about this with the people who are kind of on a similar path to me. Like, when I talk about where I'm at and I talk about how things are going, it really does come out of nothing. And then I'm just like, what did I just say? Because, yeah, it feels like it's not you talking in those moments, which I don't sometimes wonder if it is, because that person that comes out when I'm particularly asked about how my journey is going, it's not me. It's so not me. So, and you're diving into something there that's completely just, it's beyond the actual realm of this person, basically. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. So with that being said, if you guys are enjoying my content, please do subscribe, leave a like. It helps the algorithms tell the YouTube that you're enjoying my content and you want more of it, basically, and it pushes it out to more people. This helps with awareness for IIH and migraines, and it also allows you to maybe get recommended more on people who are better about talking about the meditation stuff, so you can find your own teacher, because I am not a teacher, but hopefully it'll allow you to kind of maybe get your foot in the door and all of that on that particular part if you're interested in that. If you're wanting to follow me, you can do so across social media, and link for that is in the description. You can find me in all the places. If you're wanting to support these videos, because I do use some things that do cost money for things like captions and making B-roll type of content, you can do so on Locals for that, and then you get access to things that I don't share, which is things like in the garden, in my life. I am starting to use the story feature a little bit more on Instagram, just because it is a nice way to kind of show what's happening in the moment, and if something comes up and you just want to share it, you can kind of do it really quickly. So that's a good way to follow me on Instagram if you're interested with that. As for the rest of it, basically just share the short video content. So there'll be a lot of basically cross-posting, and it's just because I like to share when I want to share. And so, yeah, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically anywhere you look for podcasts. It's just under Awareness with Ashley, not my channel name. And yeah, which I actually do have a playlist set up now, because YouTube lets us set up the videos that we want to as an actual podcast, so that I believe, so that it can be shared on Apple, or not Apple, on YouTube Music, which is something you get access to with premium. So yeah, that's basically it. I think that's it for my little rambling. So yeah, thanks for watching this if you did, and thanks for supporting and being a wonderful therapy group for me, especially now that I'm in a little bit of rougher times with all of these emotions going on. It's nice to have a platform that I can basically just talk to the camera and say what's on my mind. And although I could do this in writing in many places too, I personally find that I get more benefit out of speaking to a video and a camera. So yeah, that's it. I hope to see you guys next time. I don't know when that will be. Shorts are out daily, but as for this longer content, it comes out when it comes out, basically. So thanks for joining me, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.